going live late at the moment. Good habit.
Oh, that's all right.
We're gonna lose our fans, dude.
Most podcasts start like 15 minutes late.
We're gonna lose our fan base. That's it.
Can't have that.
Tim's gonna be like, I can't be retweeting this unprofessional bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah. We'll just blame Caden for not being here.
Yeah. Okay. Not cool, man.
We are going live. Tim, give me a fruit.
Guava. That came
Absolute.
to me so quickly. It's
Yeah,
kind of weird. I haven't eaten a guava in years. Maybe that's why. Craving a guava.
Nice. All right. We're going live, you absolute guava boys.
I like it.
Okay. What's cooking?
Oh yeah, I haven't even got the notes up. Oh dear. To be totally caught up next to you. Oh yeah. Oh baby.
Oh baby.
It's a triple. Am I? Yeah. That's fine. All right. 119 is it?
Yeah. Remember.
No. Why does Google do that?
What does Google do, man?
I went to open up the dock and then the page hasn't fully loaded and it just skips down. The dock I wanted to open skips down one and I double clicked on 118 instead. Shit triggers me.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're going to make your web page move,
Don't.
you better do something. Yeah. If you're going to rearrange your web page, I'm going to rearrange your guts. How about that?
What kind of way, Derek?
It's down to interpretation, that. I'm just going to cook you a really bad meal. Chicken's going to be undercooked. So there's going to be too much spice. There you go.
Gross.
Rearrange your guts now.
Mm.
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 Right. God damn it.
You Gucci, my guy?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, is this what I want? Is this right?
What are some of these notes here, dude?
Yes. Come on. What notes?
What?
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, I forgot I put that in. I don't know.
I like it. It's like you're genuinely worried about it as well. Like, what's he gonna do without it?
Tim's Xbox compatible vibrating butt plug.
Oh god, it's the little things.
The thing is, it's we had Caden here to tell a whole story. He had a whole story ready to tell for that section. So I've like got it ready for him.
Oh yeah, I remember you said you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, we'll let you know what happened on the podcast," and then he's just not here. Well, I guess you just have to do a retelling. I'm not just going to sit here and wait another week. You're just going to have to tell it from his perspective.
But he only gave me half the details because he was like, "Oh, I'll tell more of it on the podcast," and then he plans a lunch for the podcast. Like, what the fuck's that about?
It's probably just himself as well. He's just sitting at spoons by himself.
Yeah,
we know what Caden's like.
Yeah, so I want a fucking, I want a cheeseburger today.
Yeah, he gets like 3 different names from spoons.
Yeah, dickhead. All right, let's get cooking then.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Right. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 119. Is that what I said? Yeah, 119 of the Quick Resume podcast. If you haven't been here before, or maybe you have and you just want to hear it again, my name is Deck. Hello, that guy over there, that's Tim.
Hello, everyone.
We got some Xbox stuff to talk about this week. Big surprise, really mixing it up, keeping it fresh.
For you guys, you're welcome. It's exhausting having to come up with fresh content every week.
Yeah, it's tough. So this week it's just going to be an hour and a half of Nintendo bad and PlayStation bad.
I'm into it.
Actually, it's not really like I get the feeling a lot of people are going to want us to talk about the Bungie stuff, what's going on there, because a lot of people are like really like desperate and vindictive, like, well, let's fucking get angry, about stuff. And I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to be like vindictive about this sort of stuff. I haven't even got that on the notes, to be honest with you. So we're probably not going to talk about that unless anybody's got flaming passion in the chat. Or you, Tim, if you have a flaming passion to talk about Bungie layoffs, and if you think PlayStation sucks as a result.
They do sucks. They SUX
for
sure, man.
Yeah, the big SUX.
Yeah, no, not really. Yes, obviously the whole situation sucks, and my heart goes out to all the people that got laid off. That blows, and I just hope it doesn't ruin the studio, because Bungie are really talented. Bungie are in a lot of our hearts as gamers. They're a proper legacy studio, and they've made some absolute bangers. And I hope this doesn't affect their upcoming project as well, Marathon, which I was actually quite excited for. So, basically just short and sweet. It blows. I hope everyone's all right that did that and got laid off and bounced back. But yeah, we don't know the details of it or anything like that, so it's kind of hard to comment on right now, at least.
Yeah, there's been like a couple of bits and bobs.
At least, but
yeah, there's been a couple of bits and bobs. Apparently the studio just hasn't been performing well financially, which really surprises me because they're always it's always a top 15 game.
Yeah, it's like performing to whose standards? Like, I'm sure Destiny 2's raking it in, and considering the age of that game, like I just feel like fucking Suits have just got like unrealistic expectations for these sort of things. So like I really don't.
The family a third yacht. Yeah. We haven't gotten that, so
exactly
you're out.
That's it. Yeah. I've got 2 yachts. I look like a fucking idiot this weekend, not turning up.
Compared to my friends.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick has 7 and a jet. What am I gonna do?
But I just don't. I can't see Destiny being Destiny 2 in the spot it is right now being not a successful game. So I just feel like it's them maybe just being a bit too harsh. And I know it hasn't had. I know the recent expansion wasn't its best and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, you've got to consider the age of that game as well, and it's got some legs on it, and it still has very consistently high player base. So I don't know. It seems like people need to chill out. And
yeah, I can't remember the exact number when I was reading it. Here we are saying we weren't going to talk about it, but here we are. It was like they missed revenue targets by like 40% or something. So it was like quite big. Like you said, I think there's something to be said about how hyped Lightfall was, and then people didn't really enjoy it that much. So I think that probably dampened projections and stuff, like really missed expectations. But also, like, I've heard people say, like, this sort of waxing and waning between expansions is quite normal. Like, you hire up and then you fucking lay people off as shit as it is, And we never, like you said, we never know the details of these things. Some of these people might just be short-term contractors who were going to be laid off anyway. Like, they knew that. Like, I don't know.
Well, I heard that quite a lot of them were like actual legacy people that have been with Bungie since like
some of them were, yeah.
Like I heard they've sacked off the composer that did like all the music for like
Michael
Halo.
Salvatore.
Yeah. Which is just nuts. I mean, the guy's literally like a video game icon in that sort of in that area. Like, how do you justify laying off someone like that? Doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
that's
He's the best
weird.
at what he does, but hey ho, whatever.
Yeah, and it's been like that all year, really, isn't it? Everyone making big games and big scores, big Metacritic scores, and
Mm,
people getting laid off.
yeah,
What's that about?
it's been
What's
quite
that
a
about?
volatile year, isn't it? Why is there a dog
Right.
on the bed?
Oh
What are
yeah. Hey
you
buddy.
doing, dog?
Which one is that? What's
That's
his name?
Doug.
Doug the dog.
Doug the Doug. He's really he's really
Hey
grouchy
buddy.
though. If I went to move him, he'd growl at me. He's like a grumpy old
Oh,
man.
I kind of want to see that now.
No, I'm gonna leave him.
Okay.
He's
Thought
fine.
about it though.
He's not causing any harm
For now. We'll see.
until he kicks me off my chair. I want your chair.
Yeah. Okay, what else did I have to say about that? Nothing. I had nothing else to say about that.
Yeah.
If it's not already obvious, I'm like really my nose. I've got like it feels like I've got two baguettes shoved up my nose right now. I don't know what's going on.
Are those baguettes?
Stick out your nose. Those baguettes. Look at the state of it. You know
Does
when
look
like you've
quite
been wiping
inflamed.
your nose. Yeah, you know when you've been wiping your nose so much and it starts to hurt, and then the next
Mm.
day it's like fucking peely, like a snake,
It's the
like
worst.
losing
Yeah,
your,
that's
your
literally like the
skin.
worst thing. I hate that.
That's starting to happen, so I'm not
Mm.
thrilled.
Yeah, my condolences. You need to use tissues with the balsam oil or whatever on them. They're a bit softer on the old nose.
Yeah, I've got Albus oil.
Nah, mate, that disintegrates
Albus Dumbledore.
almost done with all. Nah, you're done, mate. Your nose is gone. You'll be flat by tomorrow.
It's gone. Jesus. Be Voldemort. Two Harry Potter references in like 5 seconds. That's pretty sick. That's pretty high. Hoggers moment, that is.
It's pretty poggers.
Yeah. All right. Right. Let's fucking get the show on the road.
Yeah.
Tim, what have you been playing, man? How's Game Brain?
Uh, yeah, Game Brain's good. I've been playing pretty much the same sort of stuff I was playing last week. Mainly Halo. I've been having some internet issues this week though, so it's been a bit up and down for me. But yeah, basically just some Halo. When I'm not playing that and not having internet connections, I'm Marvel snapping. And then what else? I did download Hellblade, so that's ready to go.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I downloaded it instead of Dead Space. So
That means something. That
yeah.
means something.
And it means something here too, because it takes me like a day to download a game, so I've got to commit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm really excited for you. I wish I could play that game again for the first time, if that's any consolation. That is video. This is video games. That's me after I finish Hellblade.
Nice. I'm excited. You're really bigging it up. You and Kate
Maybe
really
like
bigged it up to be
Scorsese.
like the best game of all time. So
It's definitely not the best game of all time,
nah,
but
you
I can
basically
understand
said
why
that.
it might be for some people. I think I probably put it in my top 20. So
Hmm.
I do think it's that good.
Okay.
But, maybe you won't.
Probably not. Just to annoy you.
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Speaking of 4 out of 10s,
Hey.
fuck it, we're going on tangents. It's Tangent Tuesday. If you're listening on Tuesday.
Tangerine Tuesday. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Go on.
It's the old fucking Modern Warfare 3
Yeah.
Xbox tax, isn't it? I'm joking. I don't know. I'm seeing this everywhere. I think a lot of the Xbox community is going a bit wild over this, guys. I think this is just a bad video game. Well, the campaign, they haven't released multiplayer yet, right? I think they just done fucked up. And I think if anything, this is a great thing for Xbox because now they can hold up Modern Warfare 3 like by the scruff, like their limp corpse, and they can like hold it up and they can be like, look, this is why we need to fucking stop the annualization of Call of Duty. We're going to do it every 2 years now because look at the quality. Look at it. Look at the state of this sad fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think honestly, like if Modern Warfare 3 needed to die, to make this all better for everyone. It gets
Yeah.
the thumbs up from me, and especially because this one is still associated largely with PlayStation. It's like
True.
PlayStation have the marketing rights for this one, so they're not
Yeah.
really losing anything.
It's
I don't
it's
know,
a
man.
it's a weird one, yeah. I mean, you definitely can see it in a positive light for Xbox, but like it's I don't know, man. This game is really just its own thing.
It's a bit weird,
So
isn't it? Yeah.
I heard that you can't game share this because it's not considered a full release or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have
I
to.
heard that this is a thing. Apparently they're classifying it as DLC or something. So I don't
Yeah,
think it I think the launcher is updated to just say Modern Warfare 3 off Modern Warfare 2.
yeah.
So but you still have to spend 60 quid on it.
It's weird,
Or
isn't it?
however
Like,
much it is. Like I don't know what I feel like this is a genuine scam. It was really it feels really dodgy.
yeah, they might actually have gone too far this time, which you might
Yeah,
not
I
have
don't.
thought was ever possible. But
I mean, and they've done positive things. I guess I heard Zombies is back, and I heard Zombies is pretty good.
I don't know, man. It looks fucking weird. It looks real weird.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've
It's
heard
like,
rumblings that it's not too bad, but like it's definitely a few steps back, which is something to say for the Call of Duty. So I feel like that shit's
yeah.
been rolling downhill for a while. So
Especially when you're just remaking stuff. It's like, come on,
yeah,
like
that
just
should be
do it
like a
again.
shoe in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, like people lap that shit up. So it's a bit weird. It's not
yeah,
only a weird game, but it's a weird situation because then, as much as I was saying, like Xbox community getting a bit shaky about this, like there's then also a lot of weirdos who are like, anything that Xbox touches turns to
oh
shit,
yeah, because
and it's like
Xbox just got this, and we're like, chop it in half. Yeah,
chop
don't
it in
do
half.
this.
They're like throwing updating bugs, they're like plugging USBs into the set, like fucking
Yeah,
getting bugs
exactly.
in,
This shit was
taking
made
away the
well
polish.
before the fucking deal fucking went through. It was ridiculous.
It's so funny. I think most reasonable people are fine with Xbox having nothing to do with this. Like it's just it is what it is.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
acquisition happened 2 weeks ago, guys. Like I don't know how efficient you think Phil is, and
Yeah.
I don't think he'd mind me saying not this
Yeah.
efficient.
He's like, whew, glad that went through. All right, guys, you got 2 weeks to make Modern Warfare 3, yeah? Go, 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 go.
They're like, I think we prefer Bobby to this. This is crazy.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that's a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah, it is. It's been a train wreck. Train wreck. We kind of went off what you've been playing. Um, what did you say? You said a bit of Halo. You said a bit of. You said something else. I feel like.
Oh, I
Or did you
said I
not?
downloaded Hellblade, and I said when I'm
Halo,
not
Halo.
playing Halo, I'm just playing Marvel Snap.
Oh right, yeah,
Because
Marvel
I'm a
Snap. That's
Marvel
it.
Snap main.
You're Marvel Snap, mate. Yeah,
Shit's good, man.
that's true. I'm still playing Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good video game.
It's
That's a
good,
good
isn't it?
video game. That is. Yeah, yeah, that's a good video game.
Atmosphere
I'm
is top notch in that video game. Top notch.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's good. Although one of our friends keeps saying to me like, "Oh, how many times have you shat your pants?" I'm like, "Not a single one." And I'm like,
I
I'm
don't.
a jumpy boy. Like
Yeah.
I jump very easily. Thankfully, the game doesn't like do these piss poor jump scares much. It's mostly an atmospheric thing.
Mm.
Um, I think it's spooky, which is great. But like, I'm not shitting myself if that's the intention of these games. There is
No,
no
no,
poo
no.
on my chair.
I never saw Dead Space as a really scary game, like a horror game. It's too actiony.
Like action, it's like
Yeah.
action horror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like it's the same as Resident Evil. No one craps himself playing Resident Evil ever. Like whether it's the 2 remake, the 3 remake, or 4. I mean 8 maybe, and not 8. Sorry, 7 maybe. I think Biohazard was a little bit creepy. Um, but like again, they're not shit your pants scary games. And Dead Space definitely doesn't fall into that category. It has a couple little jumps and a couple little moments, but nothing too bad. I mean, I don't know how far you are inside in the game. I can't remember if it's Dead Space 1 or 2, but I remember one part being a little bit weird. But I don't know how
I'm
far you
like
are.
chapter 7, I think. There's 12 chapters, so I just got past the halfway point.
If you fought anything small, like little tiny little boys.
Yeah, I fought tiny little boys, and then I fought even tinier little boys.
Yeah, okay. Because I can't remember if it was the first game or the second game where you go through like a section on the ship where it's like the daycare section and all the babies are like gross.
Yeah, there was babies in
morph.
jars. Yeah.
Yeah.
You fight the baby
But they
things
like
in this
chase
one,
after you. Yeah. And they're like,
yeah.
yeah, that was kind of weird. You were just
Yeah, that was a bit spooky.
like transformed children and stuff. It's really distracting, Deck.
What's distracting, man?
The laser light show. Oh god. Hello, darkness.
Why is it like flashing? Like I don't get
Yeah,
that.
it's the light in your room messing with it, I think.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's a good game. I'm looking forward to playing with it. Like I said, I've kind of I've taken the choice to do Hellblade instead. And especially as Hellblade's a bit of a quick. It's a quicker experience.
Xbox IP. Oh
like, yeah. No, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't play Xbox IPs. But,
yeah, no, we know that.
But yeah, it's it's quite a short one. Like it's quite short and sweet. Like I'll complete that in under 10 hours probably. It's probably like a 7-8 hour game. Whereas Dead Space is at least sort of like a 15-16 hour experience, if not more.
Let's find out together.
How
long
you
to
guys
complete?
said it was around like 8 hours or something.
I think I definitely. Let me check. It's like no longer than 12. I'm sure. God fucking damn
While
it.
you look that up, hello David in the chat. David says Alan Wake 2 on Xbox Series X has outperformed the PS5 version, taking full advantage of the Series X pack. God, this sounds like an advert, David. I'm not gonna lie. With mesh shaders and proper optimization, the PS5.
How are your dreams?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't finish that with a hashtag Power Your Dreams. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what the Digital Foundry will be doing some stuff on Alan Wake 2 and found out that it performs better on Series X.
Yeah, I saw some stuff about this. Quite a bit better as well. There's this whole discussion. I've really lost interest in this whole performance comparing because it seems like the consoles are pretty similar.
Yeah, their benchmark is
despite
quite similar.
On pay, I mean, that's the outcome anyway. Like, there's a couple of back and forth. There's different schools of thought. There's different arguments about it. Like on paper, Xbox has like theoretically should be able to be putting out more, and it usually does. But it's kind of like a 70-30 thing, just to pull a number out my ass. Where like 70% of games are like run better on Series X, but there are 30 that run better on PS5, maybe more, maybe 60-40, and that shouldn't really be the case. But some people have said that as the gen goes on, the raw power approach that Xbox has will favor it more. And there's one of the Digital Foundry guys that said that as like more complex mesh shaders, I think is the term that they use, start to become more available. Xbox can the Series X is better equipped to deal with that, whereas the SSD is more. It's very SSD heavy, isn't it? On PS5. So yeah, I've heard about that, David. No, it's good to bring up. But we'll see how it keeps going. I mean, we've been here before where we've said this, and then actually just the games perform pretty similar. And not only that, as we're now in this post ABK world, like, what number would I say? Maybe like 20% of like AAA games, maybe more, 30% of AAA games that are released on Xbox are going to be first party. So you would expect that they're going to be getting special treatment anyway. Maybe not COD because they've got to, fear the regulator boogeyman. But you would have thought that they should be doing a good job optimizing for the platform. So I think this will all start to become even more irrelevant as time goes on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Definitely. Unless it's the Series S, of course, because fucking that console caused poverty. It causes recessions.
Causes
climate change.
Fired, quit on the spot.
Yeah. It's really a demonic little console. Bit of machinery, that thing. Yeah. 8 hours is how long to complete says. The website first Hellblade.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not bad.
It's short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Well, might not be. Might be short crap. You'll have my review next
Shit.
week.
Please don't go into it angry. I'll be so sad if you come back next week. You're just pissed
Nah,
off.
I'm gonna give it a fair chance, of course. I love me an
Good.
Xbox IP.
Yeah, fucking yeah. You can't not be excited for Hellblade 2. Shit's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, what else have I been doing? I still playing Halo. The player count on that game is holding, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, who fucking knew, right? Who fucking knew? You get a cadence of seasons, you put exciting stuff in, and people will keep playing your game. You know,
I
you
think
sort
they've
out your
got
bugs, sort
a.
out your source.
I think they've got a little event starting soon as well, like a little short little battle pass tracker, with some free stuff in it, which is always quite fun. Like the Tenra events they do and stuff like that. I think they're doing one. I think it's like the 15th of November or something.
Yeah,
And yeah, it looks cool. I've watched some videos on it, some of the stuff. I'll probably go through it and get the stuff. The one thing is they're getting a lot of backlash for is they seem to have bumped up the prices again in the store and done it in a really cheeky way of bundling a load of shit together and charging more. And they
yeah,
justified it because I heard they officially justified it because they made helmets cross-core, and people were just like, that doesn't make any sense because your system was crap and that sort of stuff should have been cross-core anyway, and that doesn't mean you can jack up the prices again. So apparently they're like more expensive than or par to when it launched again, and people are pretty cheesed off about that.
yeah. I'm in two minds about this. I feel like the Halo community is like a really very like particularly the Halo community is very entitled about like prices on stuff. That's not to say that I think that generally free to play games shouldn't reevaluate their pricing and stuff, but they have access to the best data for like what they're going to make the money on. Again, that doesn't mean that I don't think it should be cheaper, but I saw people getting especially pissy when the community manager just said, "Look, this is what's happening. This is why the prices have gone up
Mm-hmm.
on some of those things." And I don't get me wrong. Again, like I don't disagree that bundling some stuff together it can also be a bit wank when it's like you just want to buy a single thing. Um, but bear in mind, like they don't care because they're going to make more money from the bundle. Like you buying one thing
Mm-hmm.
for 200 credits isn't worth the 10 people who are going to buy the bundle. So anyway, just bear that in mind. But yeah, so people getting pissy at the community manager about it. But I mean, it makes sense on some level, right? I don't know. It's difficult with these free to play games because, especially with all the stuff that Halo Infinite is delivering for free, and the systems they're reworking, like the cross core stuff they're doing isn't automatic; it's all manual.
Yeah, but they're
So, like,
reworking because it didn't work. Like it just didn't. It
right,
didn't.
it's just what the community wanted.
Yeah, but it was a failed
Either way,
experiment. It was a failed customization. At the end of the day, I kind of agree with the whole backlash. I'm not obviously as vocal, but I don't think this rejigging of the customization system and making things cross-core and all that is an excuse to jack up your prices and stuff like that. Because
I
they're
don't think
like,
it's an excuse,
you
but it
can have
makes
high
sense, right?
prices, but just not extortionately high. They're like really high. They're like you buy a bundle or two, and it's like the price of the campaign. It's like 50 quid. It's
Yeah, and
kind of nuts.
it's in line with other free to play stuff. And even then, Halo is still quite generous. Like that's the expensive bundles. They do have a la carte stuff, and they do have non-expiring battle passes,
Yeah.
with free currency in them. Um, you know, so I get it, and I wouldn't blame you for feeling that prices should be lower. I certainly feel the same way, but I just feel like when I look across the landscape and I look at what Halo Infinite is doing in particular, and I get this sentiment as well, where it's like, oh, it should have been like that in the first place. It's like, okay, yeah, fine, but it's not like how it works, though, is it? Like, there's been a team who's had to do this, and they've had to be paid to do
Mm.
the additional work and the tech. They've had to invest in the tech, and they have to be operating at a profit. So I get it. Are we paying for your mistakes? Maybe, right? Yeah, like I get it, but it's just not the reality of it. That's just kind of how I feel. I go down any of these, even like Siege, which isn't a free to play game, or is it free to play now? I don't know. Prices are through the roof. It's like it's just across the board. Pick your poison.
See, I didn't think
Because
it
we
was. I actually thought Siege stuff was much more reasonably priced. Like genuinely, most things in that store you could buy for £4, and it was a camo that went across every single gun in the game, cross core,
Most
so
of them
so to
aren't
speak.
though.
Like
Most of
it
them
felt
aren't.
a lot cheaper.
There are very few
Yes,
universal.
some of the actual like kits, operator kits and stuff like that, sure, yeah, those were a little bit pricey. Um, but yes, no, I mean, yeah, you can definitely see it from both angles, but it would be interesting to see if they would make more money off this 20 piece bundle they're selling for £25, or whether or not they would just let people buy an individual item from that bundle. Like, would they get more money out of just letting people buy the individual thing?
No,
Like, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, probably not, but
they wouldn't. They definitely wouldn't. Otherwise, they'd do it. I mean, is there a free to play game out there that does that? You know, that I can't think of one that does stuff that just allows you to buy stuff
no, they
piece
always
you know
try and
piece to piece.
upsell you. Yeah, yeah.
And that's not to say that isn't favorable, just that it isn't realistic in the economy of it. Yeah, fucking, it sucks. I get it, and this is why some people feel that they don't like Halo being free to play. They would just rather it was a full price game. But then
Hmm.
the game still needs to be monetized over time. So you're either still going to get a shop or you're going to get DLC, which some people are still very strongly in favor of. Like, yeah, we
Mm.
should do that. We should segregate the player base and do paid map packs. But I think that's kind of shit because it's like there's so much better stuff we get seasonally than map packs. And then it's like, what are we doing? Are we buying weapons?
Hmm.
Like, are we buying like what are you putting in these expansions? So, like I
Yeah,
said, it's a pick your poison thing. I'd like lower prices, but it's just shit capitalism, isn't it? Fine, I get it.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and it just doesn't fit into the model of that Xbox is going with anymore, with Games Pass and stuff like that. And first party, like, because the game is first party and drops into Games Pass. This
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
the game being £60, and yes, it like everyone wants everything earned the old school way in Halos. Like, let me get 1,000 headshots and then I'll have that set of flood armor. It's just like, but that doesn't really work with the whole model that Xbox is going with now as a whole, just even outside of
yeah,
Halo. Like, so
yeah,
that's why it just doesn't fit the mold anymore. As much as you might want those things to come back, and as much as admittedly, sometimes I would just prefer to drop £10 on a cool set of armor rather than spending 20 hours of my life completing the campaign on Legendary and finding every skull to get this. Like, yes, right now I probably would just rather drop a tenner and get it. There's less meaning behind it, but also I don't have the time to do that shit that I used to do when I was 15 years old. So a lot of this stuff is coming from full-time content creators that do have the time to grind this stuff out and get this armor set and then show it off and be like, I did this. But a lot of people
yeah,
don't, and they would rather just get out the credit card and have it. So
yeah.
yeah.
It's a good point, and I think there is a synthesis here. There is somewhere in the middle, which they seem to be moving towards. Like I think we've said before, at max rank you get the chief armor core,
Hmm.
which by the way you can color however you want. So you can have like
Pink
alternate
Chief.
timeline chiefs, yeah, right. And you get the CE, the combat evolved chief as well. Slightly different model, a bit more polygonal. Um, which is cool. It's great. Stuff like that is great. Yeah, for sure. Progression based unlocks should be there as well, like no doubt. So it's why the account level is so important to a lot of people because even if you're not getting unlocks directly, which you do, you get badges. Um, number go up. Monkey brain like number go up.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Do they have a thing like where you, even when you hit max rank 500, you can like prestige it and reset, get like a little star, and then just go back to one and do like another 500, just so people can just
I
see a
don't.
number keep going up.
I don't think so, but I bet they will. Like
Yeah, because
yeah,
like you said, people just like to see a number go up sometimes. Like even if it just gives you, I don't know, really meaningless stuff. Like it's nice to just see it go up sometimes. But yeah.
yeah. I'm with you. So beyond all the sort of microtransaction drama, yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. It feels like the game is coming together really well. It's like at this really nice point where there's like loads to do. Like I'm going into different playlists and playing like maps I've never played before still, and I've been playing since season 5, whatever that was, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Battle passes feel good. I'm like skipping between I finished off the season 3 one. I'm now doing season 4. Um, there's actually 2 events coming up. So there's a Halo 3 sort of event that is in partnership with Mountain Dew, and that's this Tuesday coming with like 6 maps from Halo 3. So people will be all over that. Some squad battle, some quick play. Um, and then after that, there's like an event which they're now calling Operations, where there are like you said, there are small uh mini battle passes,
Yeah.
20 levels, but they're like they're like better. They've like redesigned the battle passes now, so like you get both like shoulder pads in the same level rather than like stretching it
Mm.
out to 100. It's why the recent battle pass is 50 rather than 100.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so they're applying that to this new operation system, which you can get for free if you play it at the time. But if you don't play it at the time, you can do retroactively, but you'd have to pay for it,
Yes. Yeah.
which I think is cool. So again, it just kind of gets vaulted. It's there if you want to spend a little bit of money. It's only 500 as opposed to the 1,000 for a normal battle pass. So yeah, I mean, it's looking good. It's again, even on Steam, Steam numbers, whatever, the player base is kind of holding like quite well. It's not through the roof numbers or anything. Don't get me wrong, but it's like holding at a good 40k.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, on Xbox it's top 20 still. So
Mm.
it's good stuff. And mid-season, there's a new equipment, firefight. So it's
It's
again,
looking good.
yeah, it's
Mm.
good for them because the
Yeah.
gameplay was always good. The gameplay was always good.
Yeah, yeah, I've loved jumping back in and playing Infinite. Yeah, like I never had an issue with the gameplay. Like it's some of the best FPS I've ever played. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's refreshing just to see it hold a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be back, and I genuinely look forward to coming on and playing it these days. So, which I haven't done since season 1 or halfway through season 2 because I dropped off on the
Yeah,
locals one. Um,
yeah,
yeah, no, it's good to see. I'm happy for them, and I'm happy just in general because I get to enjoy that product again. So
definitely. And you know what? I really like. I really like where the tech has landed in Halo Infinite. It feels like how Apex was when it was kind of at its best. You had like the bunny hopping and the wall bouncing, and you do all the slide tech.
mm,
343 keep meddling with it a little bit, but now they seem to have been like, okay, let's make it fair but competitive. They made curb sliding easier but less mental if you're like pro at it. You can't skip the whole fucking map. Um,
yeah,
and I think that's such a cool bit of tech. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, on Halo, there's this thing you can do where if you run off a height, and then slide as your feet leave. Once you hit the ground, you like slide quicker. And the higher height you do it from, the harder it gets, but the more speed you pick up. And you can do that into like downward hills and stuff
mm,
like that to get momentum. And it just always feels good. And the stuff
yeah,
like that, the stuff with equipment, grappling hook and all sorts that I really like. And then just basic Halo tech like jiggle peeking, like burst firing and then moving back to cover and out and in.
yeah.
The tech just feels really good in Halo Infinite. I think crouch jumping, the list goes on.
They've hit a nice cadence of keeping it competitive, but also keeping it fun for casuals too. Yeah, because
Definitely.
you see a lot of games pulling away from this sort of thing. I know that Apex actually they removed a lot of that stuff. They removed bunny hopping, they removed healing while you could bunny hop and stuff like that.
Stop doing that.
And as annoying as it was, and when you did run across someone that was really sweaty and really good with it was quite annoying. But like equally, it just keeps people invested in that ceiling to chase all the time. Otherwise, people are just going to drop off eventually. And just feel like they've hit their peak. Fun. Because for some people that is fun, is to master those small little
Yeah.
things and just kill people that point of a second faster. And get that dopamine hit. That is what people are there for, rather than a battle pass or something like that. Like there's a lot of people that just want that feeling. So yeah, you can't alienate those people, and I think they've hit a nice sort of rhythm with that for sure.
No doubt. And I said before, I said it last week, like I think one of the problems I've had with 343's games, especially with the early even Halo 5 and also the early treatment of Infinite, is that like they've designed it from the ground up to be like hyper competitive. And it's like I don't know, man. Like I don't think this is what Halo is, and I don't think that's what people want Halo to be. I want it to feel good, and it does feel good. But then there are things like some of the power weapons are balanced in such a way where you have to like fucking nail them, and it's like I got a shotgun. I should be winning my fights without having to like,
Mm,
get perfectly landing stuff. And like some of the
yeah.
balancing is still a bit too tight competitively, if you ask me. But I'm glad, like you said last week as well, like they do appear to be moving away with it, loosening up a bit. Um, like even the most recent map, right? Even though it isn't a competitive map, it's a casual map. You won't find it in ranked. The prison one with the crystals,
Mm,
it has like weapon variants on. Good, like go nuts. Like they buffed the gravity hammer. That shit's ridiculous now. Fucking good. And like it hits,
mm.
it smashes people around the place. There's gravity effects on it where there wasn't before. I think that's kind of where Halo shines. Where
Yeah,
it's like a
it
bit of both.
shines. Yeah, it shines best with its, yeah, I think capturing people with the fun and then keeping them there um to chase that skill ceiling as well, because people will jump on and have a good time with it, and then people will eventually just be like, I'm actually pretty good at this, I'll invest a little bit more time in it, and yeah, maybe I'll dip my toes into a ranked, but you got to capture people initially with that fun factor. So it's,
Definitely,
yeah, it's important to have both. Yeah, you can't just have too much of one or the other.
definitely. I wanted to give a quick shout out before we move away from Halo, to that tower defense fucking map we played. I don't have the
Oh yeah.
author on me. I meant to make a note of it, but I don't have the author, so I'm really annoyed.
Well, we could just link.
Um,
We can just. You could potentially just link it like
yeah,
later, right? Like when the video goes up,
yeah,
if
that's
you have
true.
time, we can grab it and put it in the description. Because yeah, that was
Mm,
great. That was such good fun. Yeah.
Um, I did because I did reply to them on Twitter. Oh, is this? Have I found it? I don't think I have. That's fine. But if you just go to the custom games browser and type in tower defense, there's like a featured one. It's really good. It makes use of the Forge AI, just like you would with old school tower defense games. You got brutes and elites going down a fixed path, and you go up on the towers, and then you can recruit AI to go at other fixed points. And there's a mystery box, and all sorts of other upgrades. 30
Mhm.
waves, nicely paced. Yeah, it's a nice glimpse into like the future of what like Forge 2.0, Forge 3.0, whatever it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
That's
no,
good
we
stuff.
it was really good. Yeah, we jumped on it. And you just wanted to just show me it, and we ended up just staying the whole time and just playing the whole thing. It was very
Sure,
easy
sure.
to
Yeah.
play, very relaxed. You could just chat shit with your mates and do that sort of thing. And yeah, like you said, it just goes to show like even scratching the surface of what Forge AI can do. Because it was like a outside of the wave thing, it was like a proper like storefront of things you could do to just upgrade yourself or get new weapons or buy bots and upgrade them and increase your damage and all that. It was nuts. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I just found the name. So quick shout out to Twitter user. It's at High Beagle. The handle is Tyler Beagle. Yeah, really nice map. Yeah, really excited to see what they do next and what other people do as well. It's good stuff.
Mm.
Um, cool. Okay. So, um, what's happening this week? I'm just going to quickly blitz through the Game Pass announcements for the month, Tim. Headlining, we had we have Wild Hearts, probably Football Manager, right? Like a Dragon,
Mm.
the Man Who Erased His Name, and Roller Drome. That's all happening in November at some point. On the side, Spirit Tea, uh,
Mm.
Thirsty Suitors. I've heard about that one. War Tales. I've heard a lot of good things about as well. It's like a strategy game. Coral Island and what did I say? Dungeons 4? Yeah, sure. Dungeons 4.
Nice.
um, so that all sounds good. In terms of news this week, Tim, there hasn't been too much. It's been a fairly short week. The big ticket items are third party accessories being blocked by Xbox. Um, BlizzCon happened. That's first party now, mate. Got to
Oh
squeeze this
yeah,
shit in
yeah, it's
to
true.
it to
Yeah.
it. Hour and a half podcast. And that's probably it. They're probably the two big ticket items. There's some other things. So, like, what you feeling?
Uh, Either or, man. We could start with the third party one. It's fine.
Yeah, let's do it. So a bit of a weird one. A while ago, Xbox started they started putting their verified by Xbox or whatever it was, like logo on some products
Yeah.
to let you know that it was, this is a okay. Well, they're now making it that's the only product that will work with the Xbox. There's been a lot of controversy around this. Particularly the most pushback I've seen is from the fighting game community because they use a lot of accessories over there.
Yes.
And if Caden was with us, he would have a whole story. But he essentially bought something. I assume it was some sort of fighting pad
Yeah.
in the days prior to this announcement, uh, and now he can't use it
Well, no, he's been using
because
it
it's
for a
not
while.
authorized.
He's had it for like a month or so. But yeah, it's like a proper fight pad. It cost him hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Like I genuinely think it cost him like £300-400. And he got it shipped over from America and all that sort of stuff, which is where you get these things from. And yeah, I mean, yeah, imagine that's being banned. Yeah, you can't use that anymore. That is pretty
Scary.
rough. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this sort of changes or if there's just like as a company, there's just some sort of process you can go through to become Xbox verified, and these companies will obviously do that as soon as possible, right? Otherwise they just alienate that section, which is a lot of their player base. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how quick that sort of turnaround is for them becoming officially Xbox certified and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of a weird move, to be honest. I don't see why they've done it and why they feel like they had like a threat from third party like
Well, I can think
pieces
of a
of kit.
couple reasons. Well, obviously, we don't know the official reasoning. I don't think, anyway. If there has been, I've missed it. But the first thing that comes to mind is cheaters, right? They were a lockdown on
Yes, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
illegal gamers,
Mm-hmm. The
of
worst
which
kind.
there are many. I'm sure. Yeah, the worst kind. Um, and so there's that, and then the other side of it is, well. So secondly, they want to get more money from their range of stuff. Like I don't know if like Scuff will work. Like are they verified? Like I don't
Mm,
know. You know what I mean? Uh, so there's that.
yeah.
And then it also makes me think maybe they are ramping up production on a new line of hardware, that's going to plug the gap. And because, like, as we saw with the leaked documents, like last month or wherever it was, not just the portable, because that's like seems very low priority for them at the moment, but it seems like they're looking to make. There was that one hand controller, wasn't there, that I was like buzzing about. There's like Joy Cons, but for Xbox.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait. Uh,
Yeah.
so it makes me think like maybe they're trying to crack down on that so they can. When's it going to stop? Okay, when is it going to crack down on that so they can just get more money from it? Those are my thoughts. But yeah, on why.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Those are probably the two biggest reasons. And maybe they get a little bit of money as well from these third party certified people. I don't know. Maybe there's like I don't know the process on it, but maybe there's yeah, once they become Xbox verified or something like that, Xbox get like a certain percentage of like maybe anything sold and used on the platform. I don't know. I hope that's not the case because then you're gonna have a lot of people dropping off or just refusing to do it. Um, but yeah, it could be their way of installing something like this in the future. Just sort of not right now, but for the future. And yeah, like you said, cheaters and just first party made stuff, of course. Um, but yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. And yeah, I wonder if any of the big dogs like Scuff and all that are able to actually um do this and get certified. Yeah, and what does this mean for like headsets and stuff like that? Like, are you going to start seeing a lot less headsets for this sort of thing?
Yeah,
For Xbox, yeah.
yeah. And I think I was having a quick look online, but it seems that it's just for controllers,
Okay.
third party controllers, rather than so yeah, shouldn't affect headsets or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I suppose like as the biggest thing that one of the things that we've always complained about is like as we're moving into this age of like Xbox being cross-platform, or just generally, right, consoles being cross-platform, and we do or we don't have this option to turn off crossplay depending on the game, you know, uh, if you want to play against keyboard and mouse or not. it becomes a bit more of an issue again because like you can turn off crossplay, but then people will have these Zim XIM uh,
Mm.
uh, converters, adapters, whatever that allow them to use a keyboard and mouse. And like I don't know realistically how many people are doing that, but I know it does happen sometimes because I've
Yeah.
seen it. Uh, and I hope that this nukes that because that really is shit. Like
But then
that
that's
needs
that
to be a
stuff
consistent experience.
that stuff lies outside of controllers though, right? Is in like I know
Maybe.
like
Dunno.
a lot of those things, I don't know how they work, but I imagine a lot of them sort of work with
Yeah.
the official Xbox controllers and stuff like that, and it's just sort of yeah, I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it. I'm not a cheater. Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
but yeah, no, it's yeah, it definitely needs attention because we do and have come across them. Obviously, we don't know for absolute certainty like that this person was doing that. But like when you're playing games like Overwatch and stuff like that, yeah, we saw some pretty sussy moments that like these people are fucking they're like flicking around and clicking on heads at like 2000 DPI, and you're like, you're not using a controller, man. Like, I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
just not. Like,
Basically, anytime I die, they're using a cheating.
basically,
They're
yeah,
using an adapter.
yeah. And if I win, then they're still using
I'm
adapter.
not.
I'm just
Yeah,
better.
and I'm better than you. Yeah. This is a
Yeah,
skill gap issue, really.
yeah.
uh, yeah, so it's a bit of a funny one. We'll see how it plays out. Like, I don't know how tight the other two, like Nintendo and PlayStation, I don't know how tight they are on third party stuff. So yeah, I can't really speak to that. I feel like Nintendo are a bit tighter, but having said that, there is a lot of third party support from particular brands, aren't there, for like the Switch? So maybe they aren't too tight, but
I don't really think there's too much cheating going on in the Switch.
I
They're
suppose,
not those
yeah,
kind
I
of
don't mention,
games. It's not that kind of platform. So I think they're a little bit
yeah,
more
I
lax on it,
suppose.
to be honest. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see from PlayStation side. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if you got like a rapid fire controller for your Switch? I was like, oh come
Yeah.
on,
So you can like fucking frag out on Splatoon or something.
Fortnite. Mom, I'm top fragging. Yeah, it's like fucking like ink everywhere.
Look how fast I can shoot paint everywhere. God, I'm good.
That's funny. Yeah, it's just Link in Hyrule, like
It's just going
so
nuts.
much.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, cool. Right, let's move on to BlizzCon then. So, Xbox first party show BlizzCon happened this week. Uh, Tim, did you watch this at all, or did you just do the catch ups?
I didn't even do the catch ups. I genuinely don't know what happened at this show. Like,
Well, wow, not much happened, to be
no,
honest. They did the well, so obviously it was the whole weekend. And then, well, a lot did happen, but just not relevant for us really. But they had an opening ceremony to like showcase. It was like their showcase basically. They had a Blizzard showcase, and they went through all of their games. They released Warcraft Rumble, which I've downloaded onto my little phone. Haven't played it yet, but I kind of
Warcraft
want to.
Rumble. The hell
Well,
is
Rumble,
that?
mate. It's Xbox's first Blizzard uh, release.
Partnership
That is.
release deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And it looks quite good. I mean, it's shot to most downloaded on the day it released.
Yeah, well,
I
look at
don't
this
really know what
shit.
you call like mobile games have like weird genre names. Do you know what I mean? Like Match Three and I don't even know what you'd call this. There is a name for it, but it's like you put stuff down and they wander up the battlefield, and you know it looks pretty cool as far as mobile games go. They covered Overwatch to begin with, what's happening there, like the progression updates they're doing, the new hero who looks sick. Um, tease the next three heroes, new game mode. Can't remember what it's called. Uh, yeah, I mean, it looked good. It looked good.
Okay.
And then Diablo, they've got the first expansion for Diablo 4 coming second half next year with a brand new area and a brand new class that hasn't been in the Diablo series before, they said, but they didn't give us any more
Ooh,
than that. Yeah, yeah. So
that's
something brand
exciting.
new. Uh huh. But as you know, Diablo's pick up a bit of steam again because fucking gamers and with service games always the same fucking shit.
Mm.
Let's be angry, and then oh, the game is saved. Oh, let's be angry. Have you seen that chart where it's like fucking? This is a huge W. It's so over. It's so over. We
Yeah.
so back, and then it's like we're so over.
Yeah. I thought Diablo wasn't in the best of states at the moment. I thought like even with the newest
Nah,
like season and stuff like that, I
nah,
thought,
it's back now. Keep up. Keep up. We're back now.
damn, yeah, fair play.
uh, so that happened, and then what came next? Spoke about World of Warcraft for a bit. They like announced the next 3 expansions. They announced a saga, like it's like 3 expansions in the for the next year, maybe even 2 years. I can't remember. And they had like one of the co-founders of Blizzard has come back out of retirement, and he was on stage, and he was like really charismatic. What was his name? Chris Metzen. I was watching it with Beth. And I was like, look at him go, man. Like the audience was
Yeah.
like gobbling it up. It was really funny because everyone was like, like cosplayed,
Oh, I
and
remember
something
you
like
saying,
he
yeah.
walked out. Yeah, and he walked out. This guy, I think it was already public news that he had joined, but I don't know if they knew he was going to be on stage. And some people were like head in their hands, like like cradling because they were so excited. It was a lot of
Jesus.
fun to watch. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So there was all of that, but that doesn't actually fucking matter. Like, great, Blizzard. It's still quite hard to actually believe that Blizzard is now part of Xbox, but Blizzard is bigger than all of Xbox's internal studios. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Like
nuts, isn't it?
just Blizzard, not ABK, just Blizzard is bigger
Yeah,
than all the 23, 343, Coalition, Ninja Theory, Obsidian, all of them. Mental.
it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, none of that really fucking matters because the show started with Mikey Barra coming out on stage, the guy who used to be at Xbox, and he speech, and he was like, you're the heart, you look under your chair, yeah, he's doing all this speech, and then he goes, I've got a special guest here. And I was like, you fucking, you do this to me. And it's like, oh, we've just been acquired, haven't we? Got a little guy backstage, got this my friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah,
Got the little leprechaun
nah.
backstage right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And Phil came skipping out on a rainbow in his little green hat, hat full of money.
Yeah.
And he gave a little speech. I can't remember, did I put his exact words? Let me just quickly check my notes. I think I did. So he said, now that Blizzard is part of Xbox, we will nurture the essence of what makes Blizzard unique. We're going to empower our new colleagues to continue to do what they do best, redefining existing genres and creating new, never before seen experiences. In Azeroth, in Near Future Earth, in Sanctuary, and I thought that was really spicy because I thought he was about to go. Now I'm happy to announce the first new Blizzard IP in 20 years, exclusive to. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. They just moved on to Overwatch.
That would have gone so hard, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. Equally, you can see why they might want to save that for an Xbox Direct or something like that. Their own main stage thing, but that would have gone pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually find this pretty fascinating because, like I've been saying for a while now, I think Xbox is going to be really stupid and they're going to let this new IP go multi-platform because they're going to be like, oh, we don't want to butt in and cancel everyone's work. Well, it's like, sorry, but just give them a bit of money. Like, it's fine. Like, if anybody else ever acquires something, they lock it to their ecosystem.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm assuming this game is still a year out. It would just be such a waste to have the first new Blizzard IP in such a long time and to not. It's not like it's fucking World of Warcraft 2. It's a new IP. It doesn't have any brand association. I've been very bullish on saying, like, I think they're going to be stupid. The fact that it wasn't here, even though there was talks of it being there, makes me think Philly's done it. He's gone big brain.
He's not stupid. Yeah.
He's not fucking around anymore. Yeah, the guy who's making like quintuple my salary at least is not stupid.
That's good to know.
So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. I think if anything, this makes it more likely that Project Odyssey, whatever it is, the new IP, is going to be an Xbox game. We still don't really know, but I think this makes it more likely that they're going to save it for either a developer direct or next year's showcase.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think it's. Oh, sorry. I think as sad as it was not seeing it there at the show and that hype, I agree. I think it just solidifies the fact that I do think we've locked this down, and I do think we'll
Yeah.
see it at an Xbox showcase or something like that. Yeah, so that's equally generating as much excitement for me. But like, I would have still loved to have seen it, some sort of trailer or some sort of like, title drop
Definitely.
or something like that. But yeah, regardless, I think you can still come out of that with pretty good news. And I think, I mean, it sounds like it was a pretty good show. To be fair, all in all, that sounds like quite a positive show. Like, it doesn't sound like there was much wrong there. They're giving
No.
Overwatch a bit of the overhaul it needs, because that game was quite in the shitter. So that sounds like it's heading in a positive direction.
Mhm.
Diablo's heading in a positive direction. All these sort of things. They're not quite there yet, but they've just established that roadmap, right? Of keeping people excited of what's to come. Yeah, it sounds positive. Sounds good. It's a good
Most
showing for being
it
under
was.
Xbox.
It was definitely a good showing, and they had, not only did they have Phil come out, he was met with a lot of really warm reception as well. I bet he was a bit nervous because like I
Yeah.
wasn't sure when he said I wasn't sure like how's people going to respond, but people were really happy about it.
Okay.
There's been some chatter that there seems to be some sense that Xbox is giving Blizzard a bit more autonomy, like kind of separating them from Activision a bit. Um,
Mm.
so, which is I'm sure a lot of the fans want. So yeah, and they had like the Xbox logos at the end of the show as well. Yeah, it seemed quite good from where I was sitting. We are not Blizzard fanboys, but we are for sure Blizzard bands.
With Blizzard fans.
What Blizzard bands did.
Yeah. Hashtag
Ban
Blizzard
Blizzard.
ban. Yeah.
Blizzard bands. It gets worse. Yeah, we are for sure Blizzard fans.
Definitely.
In fact, is World of Warcraft the only one we haven't like properly played?
Mm. No, they got like StarCraft and all that kind of stuff,
Oh,
haven't they?
StarCraft. Yeah.
There's also something else as well.
There's like another Warcraft game, isn't there? Like a Warcraft strategy game or something? Is it just called Warcraft?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. But yeah, there's basically some big projects that we don't play, but have played a decent amount of them. With the biggest being like Overwatch and Diablo, right? They're some of Blizzard's most treasured IPs, and yeah, we've put a hell of a lot of time into both of those. So yeah, we're definitely
And
big
Hearthstone.
Blizzard fans. Yeah, and Hearthstone. Yeah, we played a lot of Hearthstone in our time as well. Yeah, no, I love Blizzard. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of just really quick, Hearthstone announced a duos mode.
Oh, there
PvTs.
she.
Yeah, yeah,
That's pretty cool. What? So is it like
yeah.
you share a deck, or like you just?
I think you both bring your own deck, but you draw, like you collectively draw from the same thing. I
Yeah,
might be misremembering, but you share a pool.
that's quite cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sounded quite cool. Yeah,
yeah, because it basically just means you can like create some like deck to deck synergies. Like
duo
how,
decks.
yeah, like it will my deck synergize with yours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I'm vibing with that.
Yeah. I felt there was something else here that I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it is. I'm having a hard time right now.
What on the
It's
Blizzard
not
stuff?
just Yeah, it's not just my nose that's blocked, it's my brain. My brain is blocked.
Don't know.
No, it's not. It's probably not that important then. Okay. I did want to say I just remembered I'm looking at David's comment in the chat from when we were talking about the accessories. I do actually have like a very personal vendetta against third party control. What are the ones called that are sold here that's like cat? Something about cat. Something about cat. Do you know what I mean?
Mad
Hellcat?
Cats.
Mad cat. Oh my fucking god, man.
Yeah, they're rough. I don't even. I think they're still in the game, but I think those were much more sort of. They were at their
Fuck them,
biggest
man.
at the 360 era and stuff like that. Mad Cats. Yeah.
like all the poor kids who had to play with like shitty stick drift and like because their parents just wanted to get a cheap controller.
Hmm.
Like they felt so bad.
Those LEDs though,
That's quite LEDs, doesn't it?
that's all that matters. RGB, man.
Like so I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, I went to my brother-in-law's, and he had one of these controllers, and I was like, "It's disgusting what parents are doing to kids like these this day and age."
It just popped
it's,
off on him.
it's neglect. It's neglect. Yeah,
Poor kid.
yeah, it's horrible. So I remember, I think back in like the Modern Warfare 2 days or something, I think I got one, like, 'cause I
Mm,
didn't know any better, so it wasn't even my mum and dad's fault.
yeah.
And I remember the stick just felt so weird. Like it would move further than like a normal one would on like on an Xbox controller, if you know what I
Hmm.
mean. Like it would go basically 90 degrees, and I couldn't keep my thumb on it, and it would
Yeah.
like spin, and I couldn't aim, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
So personal vendetta. That
They were
not
bad.
happy about it.
Yeah, they were bad. Mad
Fuck you,
cats.
Mad Cats.
Yo, dude, I just emailed them for a sponsor earlier. What are you doing?
You're gonna be unauthorized, dickheads.
Yeah.
Get off me platform.
Hashtag mad cats days are numbered.
That's a big one. That.
It's a good hashtag.
Yeah, no, it's like it. Okay. Am I not in my frame?
You're in your frame.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm out of. I'm very slightly out of my frame.
Yeah,
On the
when you lean
video.
out like that, yeah, it's not 100%. I haven't kept your entire door in.
I know because I can see. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing. So those are like. I think those were sort of the two big things, really.
Yeah.
I am excited to see that Phil did turn up. By the way, he just like appears everywhere. It's a bit
Mm.
weird, actually. He
He's
could
got
be
his
in my
own
bed.
like X-wing, like
He could
private
be
jet.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, he can get there at like light speeds. Yeah, he's got his own
Yeah.
tech.
It does feel like that. So feeling good about Blizzard, I
Uh-huh.
think. We'll see what happens with Odyssey. At this point, it makes me think they're going to save it for the showcase. It doesn't feel like a developer direct game because it's like a brand. It feels like a big deal unless they do like a just a standalone direct,
Mm,
right? They might do that. That would be good.
potentially, potentially.
They've just got so many games now. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to because if you actually consider now that every game past this point is actually first party Xbox first party. If you think about next year, like not even just the typical first party stuff we've already spoken about, Avowed, Hellblade, Ara, Flight Sim, Tailborn, there's also then going to be next Call of Duty, Diablo expansion.
Mm,
The list goes on. There will be more. It's like it's some of these years are really going to be quite crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, like as, but like blessed be the year here. Like this has been such a great year, but like, yeah, I feel like it's still ramping up. Um, for Xbox in
Yeah,
particular, which is kind of nuts to think, considering this is the best year in gaming probably ever in terms of like quality games.
it's
Like,
up
sure,
there.
there have been some duds, but like the amount of quality games that have come out this year have been absolutely bonkers. Um,
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
It's been such a good year. It's crazy. Uh, okay. Well, moving to the last few things then. It's going to be a shorter show than usual. I wanted to have a big conversation about Gears of War, but Caden's not here, and I wanted to do it with Caden. Only because Cliff Bleszinski, the older director for the first, the original trilogy, has been talking about Gears of War. He doesn't work in games anymore. And he's been tweeting about it here and there about what he thinks he would have done next with the franchise. And it's triggered up some really interesting discussions. So I think we'll probably come back to this in a future episode. Maybe when we've got Caden here, or maybe when it resurfaces, but not today.
yeah.
So, final thing that I wanted to talk about then is that Machine Games is opening a second studio. Developers
Mm.
behind Wolfenstein, developers doing Indiana Jones currently,
Young Blood
with Todd
too.
Howard overseeing it. I hope so. Old Blood. Old Blood.
Yeah, we did love a bit of Young Blood.
Yeah. Those are like I really do feel like Wolfenstein games are underrated.
They're
But
not
nobody speaks about
underrated.
them enough.
They're a bit overlooked. Like, I
Mm.
don't know. They're overlooked. I think people know they're good, but when people think of a game like that, people just automatically think to Doom, and they just gravitate to Doom um, over it. So like, I don't think they're underrated. They're actually rated very high. I just think they're overlooked a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it might be a better way of saying it.
yeah,
Because you're right. Like, if you ask someone what's your favorite shooter in the last like 10 years, barely anyone's going to say Wolfenstein, and I think that's quite criminal because I think there are
they're
lots of
great.
things that some of the Wolfensteins have done better than some of the Doom reboots. And this is like Clash of the Titans thing. These are two of the best shooter IPs in the last 10 years. So it's like, it's not to downplay them, but I think it says a lot that they're spinning up a second studio. Maybe this Indiana Jones development is taking longer than they thought, or maybe they are just realizing, hang on a minute, we've got a really productive team here, um, like with a lot of talent, and we can spin stuff up. Like, they're gonna want to make a Wolfenstein 3.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of when, really. You've got to assume this is for that reason. Like, they want to start developing the next Wolfenstein.
Yeah, you think it's just yeah, yeah, and what you think that's generally like more efficient and a better way of doing it rather than just get everyone working on Indiana Jones and then everyone working on Wolfenstein.
Well, they usually do this, right? They like get stuff in incubation periods. They spin stuff up before, like, while their primary game is still in development.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, usually there's like different internal teams that do that rather than spinning up an entirely different studio. Because I think it's based somewhere else as well. It's not. Is Machine Games Polish? Machine Games.
So it's going to be like an Arcane, Leon, Arcane. Uh, what's the other one?
That's right.
Montreal or
No, Leon and Austin.
Austin. That's it. It's going to be like a that sort of situation. Yeah.
Yeah. In November 2023, the studio announced a plan to open a satellite studio in Sundsvall, which is in Sweden.
I feel about to say
Um,
space there. A satellite studio in space. Game developing in
so,
space.
oh no, it is. It is just a Swedish. They are just Swedish. Oh, okay. There you go. So they'll both be in Sweden, but just in different places in Sweden.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
what
Tim has said
thoughts?
Swedish. Beat it.
Oh, of course he did. Thoughts on a Wolfenstein 3 Xbox exclusive? Game Pass day one. You playing that shit?
Yeah, I'll be playing that shit. Yeah, I like Wolfenstein. I'm scared making a for Xbox if making a third installment game franchise exclusive. I feel like there's going to be some pretty heavy tax on that. Um yeah,
Wow, dude.
tax man's coming. um
he's
but
coming knocking.
but yeah, obviously I'm all for the, locking that and making it exclusive. I wouldn't say all for, that sounds a bit toxic, but it's definitely one to do, right? But yeah, I can't say that won't come with its own backlash. But yeah, definitely Wolfenstein 3, yeah, make that shit. Indiana Jones, make that shit. Both exclusive, sign me up. 100%.
I will not say no to more games in my Game Pass. That's what I say.
Hmm.
Like, it really feels like
Do you
we're
not think
converging.
do you not think Xbox are going to have a Tomb Raider situation on their hands though if they do this again?
Fuck them. What are you gonna do? They own
Oh,
them.
Jesus, man.
What are you gonna fucking do? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
I guess
oh,
it's a bit different now that you actually own the studio rather, yeah, because that wasn't the case with Tomb Raider, was it?
yeah.
But I don't know. I can't help but think comparisons will be drawn up to it.
I mean, I think you're probably, because the first time that this will happen, where we'll get a sequel that's been exclusified, is going to be Hellblade. Because I think even Hellblade was exclusive to PlayStation for a little bit first. They had a timed exclusivity deal with
Hmm.
that. So Hellblade 2 is going to be the first game that they've done that on. So we'll see. We'll see the reception.
Hmm.
I'm with you. I think Wolfenstein 3 will probably be one step up of outrage from that because Hellblade, like Ninja Theory, are a bit more of a smaller studio. And then we'll be one step even up further if Elder Scrolls 6 truly is going to be exclusive, which of
Yeah,
course it's fucking going to be.
but
Of
it's
course it's
weird
going to be.
because Elder Scrolls 6, it's not. I don't know. I guess it still is the same thing, but it's not a continuation off of the last Elder Scrolls. It's its own story. It's its own
Uh,
thing. Like Wolfenstein 1, 2, they're playing that on their PlayStation, and then 3 picks up where 2 left off. I don't know if it will, but let's say it does. And people are like, I can't do this on my PlayStation now. I have this to continue the story that I've been playing is now I have to get a different console. There's like that sort of different vibe to it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Or there might just be it might just be good to just keep it multiplat. Like, sure, it's still dropping into Games Pass for us, like for Xbox players, but then they just get to just hoover up all the people that are going to enjoy it and play it on PlayStation as a continuation from Wolfenstein 2. I don't think there's really any negatives. I mean, I think there's actually, in terms of PR, I think there's actually less negatives just to keep it multiplat. But I think both ways are a win. But
yeah, it's interesting. I see your point as well about it being the story. I mean, I do think there is a possibility that they do keep Wolfie 3 multiplat. Strategically, I don't think they should. I think what we've learned from all of this is that people are willing to overlook shitty behavior if the games are good.
yeah.
Like, make sure Wolfie 3 is 85 plus. People will get over it.
Mm.
Because Sony are probably going to fucking release Wolverine. Do you know what I mean? Like, they need, and Nintendo are going to release Mario Kart 9. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Xbox does need to keep the shit up, and they need to
Yeah.
have the ecosystem be attractive to actually get people into it. And I think this year is arguably the first year where people have started to like look over and be like, oh,
Mm.
there's actually some good stuff going on there. 2021 was good, but a lot of it was multiplat, and you saw people being like, it created a bit of a nuance, a bit of a silver line for it, where like, oh yeah, those are good games, but like they weren't. I didn't need to go into Game Pass for it, so fuck
Yeah.
'em.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting. But yeah, I mean, definitely new IPs like Indiana Jones. Yeah, don't make that shit multiplat. Like, I feel like you shoot yourself in the foot if you do that. Yeah, I should definitely
Yeah,
be first buy. But yeah, no, definitely exciting. Yeah, because machine games are fantastic. Yeah, they like you said, they make some of the highest quality FPS games on the market. So yeah, it's very exciting to see them split off and have a team big enough to work on multiple projects and all that sort of stuff. So very good, very good.
yeah, it is exciting. That's the thing when we're speaking about like what Xbox is now. Like, we've just had that whole conversation about Blizzard, and then you're like, oh yeah, fuck. Bethesda isn't just Bethesda Game Studio Starfield, it's Machine Games with Wolfenstein. Oh yeah, id's over there about to chuck out another Doom probably. Oh
Mm,
yeah, fucking Tango have just spun like a bit hired up after Hi-Fi Rush. They're doing something else, and then the list just kind of goes on and
Borderlands
on.
3. Yeah,
Yeah. Um.
it's a lot.
So I think each subsequent year is going to have a lot of Xbox stuff. I'm very interested to see how it goes as we actually get the wheel spinning, because I actually don't know how they, like, one of their biggest challenges is to market this in a way where, but they have so much, is to market it
Mm.
where it's like
Things don't get
people
overshadowed.
understand these. Yeah, things don't get overshadowed, things don't cannibalize each other, but also to like establish brand association.
Mm.
Like, just
Yeah,
keep putting it out there. Like, this is Xbox. This is Xbox. This is Xbox. Game Pass. Game Pass. Game Pass.
yeah.
Like,
Brainwash
those are some
us
of the
if you
biggest
have to.
challenges they have. Brainwash us. That's right. Send us money.
That yeah. No, I don't know about that one.
Send me a send me a yellow cyberpunk chair.
That'd be pretty hype. You wouldn't want the Monster Hunter one. There's a Rathalos Secret Labs chair. That'd be pretty cool.
Is a.
Yeah.
Did you see the Monster Hunter crossover with what's that fucking game called? What's that dinosaur game called that we played
Oh,
for
Exo Primal.
Exoprimal?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't see
so
that. No.
Rathalos in that now. Yeah, and you play
Oh,
as a
that's pretty
Rajang if
cool.
you want. You can play as a rage.
No way.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Oh, well, like when you did the invasion thing where you could turn into a T-Rex or whatever, you can do that, but turn into a Rajank and you can just beat the crap out of people.
I think it's just a skin, but
maybe. Oh, okay. All right. That's kind of cool though. Yeah. World 2 though, man. Still scared. All this is great for Xbox, but if World 2 is exclusive, none of it matters. The whole world burns down, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Like the foundations crumble. I think I just pack it in and become a professional squash player.
It's so scary. I don't think they would though. It wouldn't make any sense. Professional squash player.
Yeah.
Squash.
Squash.
So yeah, we'll see how it all turns out. Tim, that's kind of all the news for this week, man. I'm happy to start winding down. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over for this week, or anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. I kind of wanted to. It's nothing to do with Xbox, but I saw the was it last week or something that For the King 2 came out?
Yeah, I think it came out on PC.
Yeah, it's only PC. Yeah, I heard they're looking for a 2024 release for consoles, but yeah, no, that's just I don't know, man. I really like For the King one. There's such a sleeper hit for me.
Yeah,
I thought it was such a good game, and I've been watching some gameplay on this one, and it just looks like more of the same, but just like it, more in depth and expanded upon and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just kind of excited for that. I think when that does drop, I think that'll be such a great game to nab per Games Pass, considering you can play it with up to 4 people now. They've increased it from 3 to a 4 player party size. So I'm really hoping that shit gets thrown into Games Pass. That'll be such a big win. Especially if it's coming in a month. Like I'm sure next year is going to be absolutely packed for releases in Xbox. But if they could like get it in like a month that isn't like so jammed or something like that, I think it'll be a huge win. But it looks really fun.
Yeah, it does. No, it looks great. Yeah, no, totally with you. It's be great for Game Pass. These co-op turn-based RPGs don't come around all that often, and they did a good job on the first one. It was just a lot of easygoing fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Tim, hit the button. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're jingling right now. I was just having a look at David's last message on this console generation. Don't bring up Bungie, David. We don't talk about Bungie.
Yeah, we spoke about that a bit more at the beginning if you want to hear it. But this has been episode 119 of the QRP. If you like what we do, consider subscribing. Like button. Don't hit the notification bell. I'll tell you every week. Waste of time. Don't really care. We're not really here for the money. So please don't.
Speak for yourself, man.
Tim's here for the money.
I'm not ending this until you pay me for the hour and a half that I've been on.
Jesus. Okay, well, it seems we've got some stuff to sort out after the show, it would seem. So we will catch you next week.
Yeah, have a good Sunday, everyone.